Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Crack UPSC CSE English. About me, I am Sandeep Bhushan Thummala and my credentials are I have 8 years of teaching experience for civil services. I teach international relations, internal security and in-depth analysis of the Hindu newspaper. And this video is in regards to the how to crack prelims 2020. But prior to getting into the topic of how to crack prelims 2020, you have a notification in regards to the subscription, that is Let's Crack UPSC CSE English, which is India's largest learning platform. And once you get subscribed to it, you subscribe are the daily live classes, the live testing quizzes. You also have the structured courses along with the unlimited access. And these are the top educators at Unacademy, which you can see it on your screen. And the others are these, the top educators at Unacademy, the one you can also have a glance on your screen. And in regards to the Let's Crack UPSC CSE English courses, you have all these courses: polity, geography, current affairs and all the rest which you have on your screen or the courses of the UPSC CSE English. And along with these courses, you also have the the courses in the Let's Crack UPSC CSE English, like governance, Indian society, CSAT, answer writing, and then interview preparation, and all the courses which you can have a glance or look at on your screen. And those are all the courses which are part of the Let's Crack UPSC CSE English. And in regards to the subscription, it is the Let's Crack UPSC CSE subscription. You have 24-month subscription. UPSC CSE Let's Crack UPSC CSE English. You have 24-month subscription, wherein the original amount is 48,000, and you can go ahead with subscribing using my code SBT10, that is Sandeep Bhushan Thummala 10. Once you subscribe with using my code, you will get a 10% discount, and the discounted amount is 43,000 upon the original price, that is 48,000. So it is always recommended to go ahead with 24-month subscription, because you have an opportunity that you are paying only for 13 months amount, which is of 13 months, that is 40,000 for 12 months and 8,000 for 1 month. So you are making the payment of only 13 months, but you are getting the subscription for the entire 24 months. And this is very important, the 24 months, because it is 2 years of solid preparation which is required for you to crack the civil services, and you are getting the 24-month subscription by not paying for the entire 24 months, but you are only paying for the 13 months, that is 12 plus 1 month. So do take the advantage of it and make the maximum benefit of subscribing it for 24 months, and then be the part of the aspirants who crack the prelims, mains and then interview by taking this opportunity. And do not forget, while you are subscribing for 24 months, by using my code SBT10 Sandeep Bhushan Thummala, wherein you will get a discount of 10%, and the amount would be not 48, but it would be 43,200. And please do try to also share with your friends the privileges what you are all getting, that you are paying for only 13 months, but you would get the entire subscription for 24 months. So do not waste time, then go ahead and then subscribe for the 24 months. Now we will get into the topic, that is the analysis of the Hindu newspaper. So here I would wish to emphasize or focus on the importance of the newspaper, or else the analysis of the Hindu newspaper. Many of them feel that we just need to read the newspaper. Yes, there is definitely, you need to go ahead with reading the newspaper, but at the same time, while you're reading, you need to also have an understanding of the newspaper, analysis of the newspaper, and trying to focus on the picking up the keywords and the key phrases from the news item, that is from the whatever part of the, it could be from the ecology and environment, or it could be from the international news, or it could be national news, or it could be any kind of Supreme Court verdicts pertaining to any acts, articles, or it could be any kind of disaster management news, or in regards to the economy point of view. So it is very important that you focus on the analytical point of view. you focus on the keywords, you focus on the key phrases, which will be very, very important for the prelims point of view. That is prelims 2020 analytical and also factual point of view. It will be very important, and that is what your analysis of the newspaper has to be, and that I would be focusing in regards to the today's topic, or in this video we would be looking into what are the areas that we need to focus, and then which could be the probable question in regards to the factual and also in regards to analytical point of view. And the one who have joined, I would say hi to them, hi to everyone, the one who are part of the program or watching the video. And the topics to be discussed are today the Mera Mobile, Mera Vidyalaya. Mera Mobile, Mera Vidyalaya. So definitely this is some kind of what you say initiative taken by a government. So that could be part of the question in the prelims also, could be. And we would also be discussing about the hydroxychloroquine and also in regards to the exchange of prisoners. So definitely we will be focusing on these three issues which are part of the newspapers, which could be a probable question in the prelims, and also emphasizing on if there is a possibility in regards to the mains point of view. Now we will get into the topic, and then can you know the one who is listening to the class, the one who is listening to the class, if you have any doubts or queries, please let me know through your chat box, so that, or you can also respond through your chat box live chat. You have an option. If you have any queries, please let me know. And then now I will get into the topic, that is the first one, Mera Mobile, Mera Vidyalaya. And when you look at this news, yes, it is very clearly saying that it is a Bihar which has launched this app for the government school students. So definitely it is an app which has been launched by the Bihar government for the government school students. So what is the need of going ahead with the launching of this app? Because we all are aware that the entire country is under national lockdown, and because we ought to maintain a stricter measure in regards to the social distancing, so that we can break the transmission of the coronavirus. So it is the need of the hour that the entire country is or should be under the, or should follow the social distancing. So when we are all following the social distancing, definitely the schools are at, what do you say, along with various other sectors, even education sector is also at, what do you say, the receiving end. So when the education sector is also a receiving end, that means the school students, the pupil are also at the receiving end, wherein they are not having the kind of educational system, or the continuity of the education is not being taken up because of the COVID-19, because of the social distancing, because of the national lockdown. So the government has come up, that is the Bihar government has come up with an app, launching with an app, so that the students will not be lost with any kind of, what you say, a few months education. So that they have come up with the app. That app will focus as an intermediary, or it will focus as a facilitator between the students and the teachers, or between the teachers and the students, wherein the entire processing of teaching methodology or the teaching will take place without much of hurdles. So that is the main intention of the Bihar government. And the name of the app, and the name of the app is Unayan Mera Mobile Mera Vidyalaya. So this is very, very important. That is in regards to the app. What is the name of the app? Is Mera Mobile Mera Vidyalaya. This is again very important for prelims point of view, because it is a government, state government, which has been launched, and it is the app which is launched for the government school, wherein this app will be useful or can be used by the standards or the students of the classes from 6th to 12th standard. So this is again very important for prelims point of view in regards to the factual data. This is again very, very important, and this will cover across 700 government schools in Bihar state. So this app, that is the mobile app which has been launched for the government students, is called as Unayan or Mera Mobile Mera Vidyalaya for the students of the classes of from 6th standard to the 12th standard, wherein it would be covering across 70,000 government run schools. So this is a very big task, and it's a very humongous task which has been taken up by the Bihar government, to make sure that the government school students are not losing their education because of the national lockdown. It is a very well accepted and the applauded initiative taken by the government of Bihar. And because of so, this is again very important for prelims point of view. Please do understand, this is very important for prelims point of view, because this app is not created by the education department, or what do you say, any primary education or any secondary education. It is in regards to the Bihar Education Project Council. Please do understand, this is in regards to the Bihar Education Project Council has been launched the mobile application. So who has, which among the following has launched the application of the app which has been, or the mobile application for the government school? So it is Bihar Education Project Council, and this is in regards to having a slot. It is not through any, what do you say, any private organization or any private app. It is a government run app. It is a mobile app which is by the Bihar Educational Project Council, and then it has taken a slot by, or it is in collaboration with the slot with the All India Radio for audio broadcast, wherein it will provide the study materials for all the government school students, that is 70,000 government run schools, from the classes from the 6th to the 12th standard of the government school students. It will be providing the entire study materials by the Bihar Education Project Council, which has been launched by a mobile application which is called as Unayan Mera Mobile Mera Vidyalay, wherein that is actually having a slot with the All India Radio. So this is very important for prelims point of view, which is a factual based question which could be the probable in prelims 2020. And then there is this, who has come up with this is, again, when we look at an independent research has been done by an alumna, that is of the London School of Economics. So the London School of Economics alumni has gone ahead with the independent research, and this research has been done by the London School of Economics and has come up with few fundamental challenges. So a research has been conducted by the alumni of the London School of Economics, and then they have come up with a report or a suggestion that they are having, because of the mobile application by the Bihar Education Project Council, with taking a slot with the All India Radio to broadcast the study materials for the government school students of the Bihar government. These alumni of London School of Economics have said there are definitely few fundamental challenges in regards to going ahead with the process, or in regards to making sure that the application, mobile application, will, what do you say, come into existence. Because they say what are the reasons is that because the state, that is a Bihar, has some fundamental challenges. And what are the challenges is that Bihar has a huge divide, digital divide. That means there is not complete connectivity of the Bihar state in regards to digitalization. So when there is a digital divide, and that to the digital divide here is a huge digital device. Please do understand, a huge digital device, wherein that would be a fundamental challenge for the Bihar government or the Bihar Educational Project Council itself, that it would be a fundamental challenge. And along with this huge digital divide, what is the other fundamental challenges? The socio-economic inequalities. Because of the socio-economic inequalities itself, we can understand that there is, what is, a huge digital divide. No doubt the huge digital divide could be also from the government point of view, that the digital connectivity is not taken up by the government in association with various private partners. In association with various private partners, the digital divide is there, or that the piercing of the digital infrastructure has been not taken up into the nook and corner of the entire Bihar state, in the nook and corner of entire Bihar districts, nook and corner of every villages of the Bihar state. So that is the digital divide, a huge digital divide, which is a fundamental challenge. Along with that, you have the socio-economic inequalities. So along with the digitalization, there is a socio and economic inequality. So that is also prevailing a lot, which is also posing a fundamental challenge for the mobile application to be into existence or into implementation in a perfect manner, that the Mera Mobile Mera Vidyalaya would provide the students from 7th or 6th to 12th standard the entire study materials with association from the Bihar Educational Project Council, taking a slot with the All India Radio. So this is what I have discussed is again very important for prelims point of view. That means who has gone ahead with the independent research? It is a London School of Economics which has come up or which has highlighted the fundamental challenges. So what are those fundamental challenges? It is in regards to the huge digital divide, which is the first one, and the second one is socio and economic inequalities. Now we will get to the second one. This app was jointly developed by, again this is very important for prelims point of view, because this could be the statements given, which among the following statements are incorrect. Could be the first statement could be Bihar Educational Project has launched the mobile application and plans to book a slot with All India Radio, 1 point. And the second one could be London School of Economics, alumni of London School of Economics have flagged off some fundamental challenges in regards to the launch of mobile application. And the third one could be the app was been jointly developed by the United Nations Children's Fund and Bihar government and excavation. So if you look at this way, then all the three are right. But if it is given the app is jointly developed by the United Nations Children's Fund and then the Bihar government, that's it. So the third statement would be wrong. So this is very important for factual point of view for prelims. So the app is jointly developed. This is very important. Jointly developed by the United Nations Children's Fund, that is UNICEF. So look at UNICEF is the one which is doing a lot of work in the states wherein it is necessary that it has to have some kind of funding by the United Nations Children's Fund itself, by the UNICEF itself. The funding is been done along with the Bihar government, and a social learning platform that is called as Excavation. It is called as Excavation. I'm extremely sorry. It is Excavation. So along with the United Nations Children's Fund, along with Bihar government and Excavation, that is a social learning platform, all the three have come together and then they have jointly developed. So this is again very important for prelims point of view. Please do understand it carries a lot of this explanation. And the next one is in regards to the hydroxychloroquine. So pharma units are in limbo, that they are unable to understand how to go ahead with the situation. They are in a confused state in regards to what? In regards to the exports of hydroxychloroquine. Pharma units are in a limbo, or they are in a confused state, that they are in confused states in regards to the exports of hydroxychloroquine. So please let me know that if you have understood the previous one. So I will go, if you have any doubts, the one who was watching it, please let me know, so that before I get into the next topic or before I start, I would make sure that I would resolve the doubts. Please, if you have any doubts, please key in your chat box. Okay, now I will continue with the pharma units which are having confusion. So what is the confusion in regards to the hydroxychloroquine export? So we all know that the government was ready and it has gone ahead with a green signal to go ahead with the exports of hydroxychloroquine to which country? Definitely it has gone ahead with supplying or exporting to many countries, but the country which has asked, and when the particular country has asked, that is the USA, when it has asked for the hydroxychloroquine. Before that, India has gone ahead with a blanket ban on the exports of hydroxychloroquine, but USA has said that it wanted the exports or imports to USA from India. And when India has said that we are not going ahead with, or we have stopped the ban of the export of hydroxychloroquine, then USA has retaliated, saying that if you do not supply the hydroxychloroquine, then the USA will go ahead with retaliation measures, or it will retaliate against India. So definitely it could be a kind of a tit for tat situation from US point of view against India, which could cost dear to India itself. So it is very important that India has looked at it as a very serious concern, and then serious concern in regards to that it would impact India negatively at this juncture, when India is not having a very good or impressive health infrastructure to handle the pandemic situation. So definitely now India would be expecting some kind of, I'm emphasizing that it would be expecting some kind of fund grants from the USA, and also making sure that the ITS sector or IT sectors would not be impacted, because India has a lot of employees in the IT and ITS sectors which would be, or which are, or who all are working, or they are providing services to the overseas clients. So probably the overseas clients could be US. Again, US might take a retaliation against India, and also in regards to the H1B visas also. So taking into consideration for the betterment of the Indian diaspora living in the US, so India has taken a decision that it will lift the ban on the exports of hydroxychloroquine to USA, and then it has, Ministry of External Affairs has made it very clear that it will provide, or it will license the malaria or anti-malarial drug, that is hydroxychloroquine, supplied to various countries, that too especially especially to USA, that too based on the government to government basis. This is very important. So on what basis the ban has been lifted and the exports of hydroxychloroquine is supplied, or would be, or is supplied to USA? It is based on government to government basis. So please do understand on what basis India has gone ahead with lifting the bans of export of hydroxychloroquine to USA. It is on the basis of government to government basis. And here there is a, what do you say, confusion, because till now I was talking about pharma units are in a limbo amid confusion. So what is the confusion here is, Ministry of External Affairs has said that we would go ahead with giving license, or the blanket ban is been lifted, but you have something else called as Director General of Foreign Trade, DGFT, which maintains that the drug is still prohibited for export. So there are two different dichotomy, or the two different statements being made, one from the external Minister of External Affairs, and the other one is in regards to the Director General of Foreign Trade, wherein the Director General of FT, that is Foreign Trade, says that the drug is still prohibited for export. And this dichotomy between both the statements have created confusion in the industry circle. So when we are talking about which industry we are talking about, it is the manufacturing. So who pharma units, that is in regards to the pharma units. So we have seen, along with this too, we would also look at the first shipment of hydroxychloroquine is already landed in US Newark Airport, not New York, YORK. It is Newark. It is in New Jersey. So it has already landed in, what do you say, on Sunday, a week after Trump has called our Prime Minister, and then he has asked for the release of the hydroxychloroquine. So definitely the first shipment of hydroxychloroquine from India has been landed in the US Newark Airport, which is part of the New Jersey. So definitely the system is being followed, but the Director General of Foreign Trade, there it is still landing, the first shipment is landing there in the, what is a US Newark Airport. And then if you look at the other side of it, is India is the lead producer of hydroxychloroquine, and this is again very important for prelims point of view. India is the lead producer of hydroxychloroquine, and hydroxychloroquine is an anti-malarian drug. Please do understand, again for prelims point of view, it is an anti-malarian drug. While Indian made paracetamol is used as a fever medication worldwide. So worldwide, when we look at paracetamol is the one, and then hydroxychloroquine is the other one, which is having a demand across the world, which are manufactured by the Indian pharmaceuticals or pharma units or pharma industries or pharmaceutical industries, where India is the lead producer in the entire world in regards to the hydroxychloroquine and for pharmaceutical. And then, and this hydroxychloroquine is an anti-malarian drug, and in regards to the paracetamol, that is Indian made paracetamol, is used for the fever, and two, that is in regards to the restricting the temperature. And what is that is actually pointing to a number of hurdles is in regards to the exports, because we have seen that an external affairs ministry has come up with a one statement, and the Director General of Foreign Drug, he has come up with another statement. So that is made a hurdle, and it has made a confusion. And the other hurdle is that at this time when global demand is at its peak, there are hurdles being popped up, and when the hurdles are being popped up, then definitely the amount of hydroxychloroquine which has to get into various countries, that is USA or various other countries, and then the kind of revenue what the pharmaceutical industries or Indian pharmaceutical industries will get is having an hurdle at this moment when there is a global demand. So whenever there is a global demand, the pharmaceutical industry, Indian pharmaceutical industry, will definitely go ahead with exporting, and when we go ahead with export, we will also come up with the export bill. We will also receive the export bill in regards to the hydroxychloroquine at this moment. So it is very important that the other countries apart from US, that is Africa, Latin America, and then CIS countries, they have also they have also cleared for the export of hydroxychloroquine, but at this time they are still it is at very high peak, but still the clearance has not been given by these countries. I mean, that means India is also going ahead with exporting not only to US but also to Africa, Latin America, and also to CIS, and also a country which is also a one which is very high in regards to the agricultural. It is having a very good agricultural technology, and it is also having a very good missiles technology. That the country is Israel. Even Israel is also wanting, or it is definitely in line that it wanted the exports of hydroxychloroquine even from India. So US, Africa, Latin America, CIS, and also in regards to the Israel is also wanting the export of hydroxychloroquine from India towards these countries. And now what is important is Indian pharmaceutical industry has grown at a very high pace since last 25 years, and then at this juncture, I mean, the growth has come up with a very high efforts and painstakingly efforts which have been taken up for the entire 25 years. And that 25 years, if you look at, they have gone ahead with exporting the pharmaceutical products across 206 countries across the world. That means 206 countries India is going ahead, or India's pharmaceutical industry have its presence or exporting its units or medical pharmaceutical units or industries or equipments into the 206 countries, and then it has a trade or a market of 22 billion US dollars. So that is what is the cause of concern when there is a global demand at this time. So there are definitely hurdles, and these hurdles are creating a lot of problem to the pharmaceutical units. And because of the External Affairs Ministry coming up with a statement that the exports can be taken up based on the government to government basis, and then the Director General of Foreign Trade, Drug Trade, is also not, I mean, is saying that the relaxation is still not being given to the trade of the export of the drug HCQ, and this would be a tragedy because the Indian pharmaceutical industry for 25 years it has struggled, and it has its presence over 2006 countries, and it has a market of around 22 billion US dollars. But all this is actually at a tragedy now. Why at a tragedy? Because if we are not allowed to use our strength, so our strength is now what in regards to the pharmaceuticals we do go ahead with. That means US is coming forward and then asking India to supply the pharmaceutical, that is hydroxychloroquine, anti-malarial drug, for USA to have or to use it for the infected COVID-19 patients. So at this time world needs these products, and we're placing order and even paying in advance when the other countries have placed order and paying advance. What is that is making this separable medicine with a huge capacity in India, that is which we should not go ahead with us, but we have to go ahead with placing, and then we have to supply this, and then there has to be a very close tandem or coordination between the External Affairs Minister and the particular country where there is a demand, and then where there is an order placed and also the advance is been placed. And now we will go ahead with the exchange of prisoners. So this is in regards to the Taliban is set to release 20 prisoners. That means Taliban is set to release its prisoners, but they will not release the prisoners to the Afghan government. They will not release the prisoners, or they will release the prisoners, but they will not hand over the prisoners to the Afghan government. They will not, but they will hand over to the Red Cross representatives who are, what do you say, part of the deal between the Taliban and US deal. So please look at it. The deal, the Taliban who are in the Afghanistan, creating a lot of problems to the Afghanistan government, or they are almost running a parallel government. The Taliban are running a parallel government in Afghanistan, and they are creating a lot of troubles or the hiccups to the Afghanistan government. And the deal, when you look at the Taliban had a deal with US, wherein in the deal in regards to the exchange of the prisoners, wherein the Afghan government is not part of it. Afghan government is not part of, or it is not a signatory to the peace deal. So look at the kind of condition now the Afghan government is facing, wherein US had a deal with the Taliban, but Taliban have a parallel government in Afghanistan, and Taliban are creating a lot of chaos and problem to Afghanistan government. But in regards to the peace deal between US and the Taliban, Afghan government is not a signatory. So this is the pathetic situation which the Afghan government is facing. And also in regards to the release of the prisoners by Taliban, the Taliban says is that they will not hand over to the directly to the Afghan government, as Afghan government is not a signatory to the peace deal between the Taliban and the US, wherein it will hand over to the Red Cross representatives. And now if we look at, the Taliban said that it will release the first prisoners in a delayed exchange deal what it had with the Afghan government. Here the deal is in regards to the Afghan government, but the deal is not in regards to the peace deal. The deal is in regards to the release of the prisoners. Please do understand here. Do not get confused that the deal between the Taliban and Afghanistan government is not between the peace deal, is not in regards to the peace deal, but is in regards to the release of prisoners. And in regards to the peace deal, it is between the US and Taliban. The peace deal requires the Afghan government, which is not a signatory. So please look at, Afghan government is not a signatory to the peace deal, to the accord, and it requires the Afghan government. The peace deal requires the Afghan government to free the up to 5,000 Taliban prisoners. So there are 5,000 Taliban prisoners under the captivity of Afghan government or Afghan military. So if the Taliban wants its 5,000 Taliban prisoners to be released by the Afghan government, definitely the peace deal requires the Afghan government to release the 5,000 Taliban. In return to that, now the Taliban have released first 20 prisoners, but they will hand it over to the Red Cross representatives, not to the government. And in turn, the militants to release 1,000 pro-government captives in return. So as the government has 5,000 prisoners in their captivity, the Taliban have 1,000 pro-government captivities in return. So it is 5,000 militants in return to 1,000 pro-government, or in return to release of 1,000 pro-government, it will be 5,000 Taliban prisoners. So that is an exchange. So this exchange was supposed to happen in the month of March, that is on the March 10th itself, because the peace deal take place in the month of just before that. The peace deal between US and Taliban has taken place, and this exchange of prisoners was supposed to take place on March 10, and then it was allowing the peace talks to begin. Between whom peace talks to begin? Between the Taliban and then the Afghan government, but has beset or affected with the various problems. And then the Taliban has cautioned the decision to release a group of prisoners. That means a group of prisoners, in the sense that is 20 prisoners what the Taliban have released. What the Taliban are questioning the Afghan government is that whatever they have released, or the way they have released the 20 prisoners, doesn't mean that there would be talks with Kabul were being restarted. That means only because of the release of 20 prisoners, the talks with the Kabul, that is the Afghan government, would be restarted. That is what the Taliban says. They say that almost the 5,000 Taliban prisoners have to be released, only then the talks would be restarted between the Taliban and then the Afghan government. So this is in regards to the what Taliban are coming up, that they have released now the 20 prisoners, but they will hand it over to the Red Cross representatives, and the release of 5,000 Taliban should take place, and in return they will release 100 pro-government captives, and the peace deal is between the Taliban and US, and there would be a peace talk. Please do understand, there would be a peace talk between the Afghan government and Taliban, only when the entire, when the 5,000 Taliban prisoners will be released, only then the talks will take place between the Taliban and then the Afghan government. So that now the point made by, or assertion or the caution given by the Taliban is again a worry to the Afghan government. So it has to deal with the Taliban now. At the same time, a double whammy, a new problem already existing with the Taliban to the Afghan government or the Afghan military is the Islamic State in Khorasan province. Islamic State in Khorasan province. The way we had, I mean, there was ISIS, that is Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. The way it was Islamic State in Iraq and Syria in the year 2014 in Iraq and Syria, the same way now again the Islamic State in Khorasan province, now they have also again slowly trying to have control over, I mean, different parts of Afghanistan. We have seen recently ISKP was the one which has gone ahead with suicide attack and killing almost 22 Sikhs in a Gurudwara. So the Afghan government has the issues dealing with Taliban and also the ISKP. So these are very, very important for prelims point of view. So we have taken up the topics in regards to the Mera Mobile Mera Vidyalaya, and then in regards to hydroxychloroquine, wherein it is an anti-malarial drug which is being exported to US, not to US but also to the Africa, Latin America, CIS, and also to Israel. And also we have seen the exchange of prisoners. We have looked at the entire peace deal, US Taliban peace deal, and then what kind of peace talk would take place only when the Afghanistan government releases 5,000 Taliban prisoners, and then Afghanistan government is having problem already with the Taliban, and now again with the ISKP also. So we have looked at extremely or extensively in regards to the prelims 2020 point of view. So thereby I wish that it was an informative and then knowledgeable session, and then please go ahead with liking the video, subscribing the video, and then hit the bell button while you're watching the video. That is Let's Crack UPSC CSE English channel in the YouTube. And then make sure that if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead with subscribing for 24 months. And while you are subscribing for 24 months, please do use my code SBT10, that is Sandeep Bhushan Thummala 10, because while you are subscribing for 24 months, you would be getting a discount of 10%. So please go ahead with subscribing, and make sure that you also download the Unacademy app. Why? Because once you download the Unacademy app, you can also have the access to the special classes under the Unacademy platform. You can also have access to the special classes, Unacademy special classes under the Unacademy platform. So please make sure that you subscribe, you download the Unacademy app, and you can also view or be part of these special classes which are being taken up in the Unacademy platform. And then if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead with subscribing using my code SBT10, that is Sandeep Bhushan Thummala, for subscribing the Let's Crack UPSC CSE English channel. So thank you very much. See you tomorrow at this time.